Hey everyone, so now I'm going to do the long-awaited question and answer video that you guys requested me to do. I asked you guys to just answer down a couple of questions that you have for me, and I'm going to read them off from top to bottom. And I have my laptop right here, so yeah, let's get on to it. And it looks like I have 25 comments in total, so I'm going to read from top to bottom, and I hope you guys like it. So the first comment is from Anas Hafar, who says, "Congrats on the 300. I was curious to know what you're majoring in and what you would recommend a one-drop benchmark. I have been yo-yoing for 5 months and I would appreciate the helps. Thank you." Alright, Anas. So right now I'm in high school. I'm a senior, and I go to a accelerated high school, so meaning that I should be graduating somewhere, early next year. About half a semester earlier than what most people in my class would graduate from. And I do plan on majoring in aerospace engineering, going into the STEM program at my local college, which is Cerritos College. So yeah, I very much do look forward to that. And you also asked if you want me to recommend you a one-drop benchmark. I haven't actually played with that many benchmarks. Otherwise than the H1 and the W, just those two I've played with, and I guess I would recommend the W. I would say it's probably the best out of all four because it sort of, combines a lot of performance and feel that you would probably expect in a high-end yo-yo at a very low-end cost. So thank you for your comment. Okay, and then the next comment is from Eric, and your last name, it looks like it's in a different language. Not gonna try to pronounce that, sorry. But you asked me what's the best budget yo-yo in your opinion, sub $30, and then what's my opinion on really expensive throws like Yo-Yo Recreation, etc. So to answer your first comment, the best budget yo-yo in my opinion that's sub $30, I would say pretty much any plastic yo-yo, or yo-yos like from, if you ever heard of Yo-Yo Officer. The Kilter, I believe, is about $30, $29.99. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've tried that yo-yo and it's a very good playing yo-yo for the price. I believe that it's something that should cost a little bit more, and that's something you might want to check out, the Kilter 2 or just the original Kilter from Yo-Yo Officer. And I guess a couple of plastic throws would be probably the 82, the Diffusion. Well, those are over $30, but they're under 40, so like somewhere between. Plastic yo-yos like the Big Dipper, stuff like that. And to answer your second question, what's my opinion on really expensive throws? Um, this question is sort of hard to answer. Because with the yo-yos and everything, everyone's gonna have a different opinion, and it's really just up to you what you think is worth the money and what you find to be fun or not in yo-yoing. But I would say that some yo-yos can cost really expensive, like those really high titanium yo-yos, like the Emblem Tists or the Dazzler, the Seventh Heaven, stuff like that. So in my opinion, I've always found it kind of silly that yo-yos would cost over even $300 because I used to think to myself, why would you pay that much for, a yo-yo? But, as I've dove into the yo-yoing world, I found that, a lot of yo-yos cost this price because, machining, marketing, a whole bunch of stuff that goes behind designing yo-yos and stuff like that. And, you're also paying for the brand. So, like, for Yo-Yo Recreation, it's a high machining, it's a high quality company in Japan, and Kenko uses a precise machining company that machines all of his yo-yos, and that's probably about 50% why the price of Yo-Yo Recreations costs a lot. It's because of the materials that he used and the cost of the machining. And I would say that it's really expensive yo-yos. I would say that it would really just depend up to you if you want to justify the price for it. But I would say if you want to, if you're curious about a really expensive throw, just try to go to a yo-yo club or a contest and see if you could try out that yo-yo. Because I always say to myself, try before you buy. So just try a yo-yo that you really want and decide whether or not you want to buy it. And that's pretty much how I determine, most of the yo-yos I'm gonna buy. I either try it first, or I just throw it, before I buy it. So thank you for your question. Okay, and the next question is from Rody1231, who asked, "What is your all-time favorite yo-yo freestyle at a contest?" So recently, as you guys know, I've been to the U.S. National Yo-Yo Contest, and I had a really fun time with my friends. Shout out to them. So, my favorite freestyle at nationals, since you're asking me, it's really hard because I honestly liked everyone's freestyle. It's just a really great opportunity to actually be there in person, to experience all the hype, the excitement of the professionals going up on stage and everything. But I wouldn't say I have a favorite. I would say top 5 or top 3. I guess I'll just tell you my top 3. So I guess in no specific order, I really liked Michael Curtis, Colin Beckford's, and I guess, yeah, Michael Vertigo as well. I really enjoyed those 3 freestyles at nationals, and I hope to see what comes for them soon. So thank you for your question. The next question is from Hayden O. What is your favorite company? So, like again, with what's my favorite freestyle at a contest, I really don't have a favorite company, because right now I'm supporting multiple companies, and, I also like multiple companies as well. I would say, some of my favorite companies for a while now has been Sengoku. I really like their products, the team members. Sengoku is doing something, really innovative that the yo-yo community really needs now. And yeah, there's also Yo-Yo Recreation. I've always been a fan of them, from their yo-yos like the prestigious Drofner, the the Valkyrie, the Spud, and Glazer. I really love all of those yo-yos, and I really love the team members as well that comes from Yo-Yo Recreation. Caribou Lodge, CYW, I've always been a fan of them. I really like their products. I really just like the way that all of their yo-yos play. Yo-Yo Factory, I've always been a fan of them from pretty much in my earlier days of yo-yoing. And let's see, Yo-Yo Jam, unfortunately, as most of you know, they're not a company now, but I really liked Yo-Yo Jam when I first started out yo-yoing. And actually, one of my first metal yo-yos was a Yo-Yo Jam Theory. So, that's pretty sentimental to me. And yeah, Recess, I've always liked Recess. I really like the team members and the yo-yos that they produce. And, there's One Drop. One Drop is just amazing as always. They make amazingly smooth yo-yos. And, it's just a whole bunch of other companies that I probably haven't mentioned right now. But, yeah, thank you. It's from Jack R. Who do you think will win Worlds 2017 in Iceland? It's actually a really, hard question to answer because, first of all, I have to see how each and every player is going to do in the next contest season. So, next year, I think the first yo-yo contest of the year will be Virginia States or PNWR. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm just going to have to track a lot of the players in the US and other countries like Europe and Japan and see how their progress goes throughout the year leading up to Worlds. So to answer the question right now, since I haven't really seen anything new from a lot of the players that will compete in 2017. But I could probably answer that question a little bit later, but for now I'm sort of undecided. So sorry if that isn't the answer that you're expecting. But if I would have to make an educated guess, for 1A, I guess probably I would say probably Colin Beckford, because he's just been doing really well this year. Tal Mordaw, he's been doing really well this year with his win from EYYC earlier this year. And, just a couple other people that I have in mind, but yeah. Alright, and then Jack R., you actually asked me another question. What is your favorite string, response pad, and bearing? Okay, so again, I have a bunch of favorites that I'll probably just list right now. So, my favorite string, I've always been using Kitty string for a long time. I also really like Epic strings. Their strings are, really good. What else? Oh yeah, Yo-Yo String Lab. I also really like them. I have owned a lot of their string in the past. And, I just really like the way that the string feels and plays. And then he asked me what's my favorite response pad. So my favorite response pad is IR pads and Yo-Yo Factory's just regular CBC pads. For Yo-Yo Factory pads, I find them really reliable and I use them in probably, half of my yo-yos. And with IR pads, I just really like IR pads because they're grippy. They last for a really long time, meaning that you won't have to, switch it out for at least, another year and a half from purchasing the yo-yo. They just last for a really long time, IR pads. He asked me what's my favorite bearing. So two of my favorite bearings, or I should say three of my favorite bearings are the Center Track, the double straight bearing, and the NSK double straight bearing from Yo-Yo Recreation. So for Center Tracks, I just really like the way they perform. They're simple, they're spin very nicely, they're smooth, a lot of my yo-yos actually have center tracks inside of them, so I actually play most of my yo-yos stock, meaning that I don't really change out any of the response or the bearing until I actually need to. So therefore, a lot of my yo-yos have center tracks inside of them, and I really don't change them out for anything, Besides, if I want to just experiment with different bearings and stuff like that. And DS and NSK DS bearings, I just really like those bearings. I find them really smooth, and they're really great for the price. I find that you can get a lot of performance out of them, and especially if you're trying to tune yo-yos, I found that double straight bearings can make a lot of yo-yos that have, some vibe, can make them smooth. But this isn't actually, guaranteed. This is just for me and what I found. So, yeah. Alright, and then Yo-Yo Life, the next question. He asked me, what is your favorite trick that falls between the long string tricks category on Yo-Tricks? So I haven't actually looked at Yo-Tricks that much. In the past, when I wanted to learn tricks like Rancid Milk or other tricks like that, that's what I looked at those tutorials. But in recent, in the recent couple of months, I haven't really looked at them. But if you're asking me what's my favorite tricks that requires long string, I guess tricks that I create because I personally use pretty long string for a lot of my tech tricks and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to check on Yo-Tricks a little bit more, but I have seen, the videos that they feature players in like Evan Nagao, Gentry Stein, stuff like that I have seen, but, regularly I'm not subscribed to them. I probably shouldn't I? So, yeah. This one comes from Donald Woody. What is your favorite yo-yo trick that someone else created? So, again, I keep saying, I have a bunch of favorites that, I'm pretty much, I'm a very undecisive guy, so I pretty much like everything, and, sometimes I can never really pick one specific favorite thing, so, if you're asking me what's my favorite yo-yo trick from someone else, they created, Zach Gormley has really great tricks, I find myself learning a lot of Zach Gormley's tricks and trying to come up something with my own from them. Kieran Cooper, Colin Beck, a lot of people, Adrian Velez, shoutouts to him. There's just a lot of people that inspire me to create tricks. But going back to your original question, my favorite tricks that someone else created, I would say probably Kieran Cooper and Zach Gormley. They have really great tricks that I look for, and oh yeah, and also Daniel Flaherty. Daniel Flaherty has a really big influence on my style, and he's just a really great guy if you get to meet him, and a lot of his tricks are just tricks that I find really fun and really enjoyable to watch, and his style is sort of the style that I want my style to be, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah, so Daniel Flaherty, Kieran Cooper, and Zach Gormley, among other people, but I would say those three are probably my favorite tricks that, they created. Next guy, he actually asked quite a few questions, so yeah, I'll just go through them. So Drew Bruscemi, if I'm butchering your name, just please correct me down below, I'm sorry for that. But your first question is, do you have any titanium throws? And yes, I do. I have the Yo-Yo Factory Ricochet and the Yo-Yo Factory Titanium Dream. Let me actually show them right now. Alright, so here they are, the Yo-Yo Factory Ricochet and the Yo-Yo Factory Titanium Dream. I really like the Titanium Dream because of the performance, and the Ricochet is just overall fun to throw every day. And then your second question is, what is the biggest contest you have gone to? So the biggest contest I have gone to is probably a cross between, or a tie between, U.S. Nationals and Las Vegas Open. U.S. Nationals is a really big contest that I've been to in the recent years, that I've recently gone to. And it's a really fun contest, as well as Las Vegas Open. Unfortunately, I've heard that Las Vegas Open isn't happening this year, but hopefully it'll happen next year and the following years. But I would say U.S. Nationals is probably the biggest contest I've gone to. I'm still trying to save up money to go to the Worlds one day. I tried to go this year, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Next year is kind of steep because, Iceland is pretty expensive. China could actually work out for me in 2018, but, I'm just going to have to see how things go with, financial problems, personal life, and stuff like that. And then your next question is, can you make a yo-yo collection video? I actually have a yo-yo collection video planned for 2017 when I collect or, buy another yo-yo or two and then just show off my entire collection at the beginning of the year. So those of you who asked me for a collection video, don't worry, it's coming soon. So I hope you guys can wait for that. And then your next question is, can I have a shout out? So yeah, shout out to Brusimi. If I'm, mispronouncing your name, just tell me in the comment sections down below. And then your last question is, congrats. Do you plan on going to Iceland next year for WYYC 17? So, again, as I said, I don't actually know if I'm going or not. So, there's some money problem. Most likely I'm not going next year in Iceland because it's just, a lot of money and it's pretty far. So, but if you're going, then, then, that's good for you. And I hope you have a fun time. It's from IV, is that what you're trying to say? But anyways, your question is, do a review on, or really, it's not really a question, it's just like a demand, I guess. Do a review on the Yo-Yo Factory Edge. I don't have an Edge in my collection. I'm gonna have to borrow one from a couple friends or something, and I'll try to do a review on it. Oh, and by the way, the review for the vacation is slightly delayed, but I'll try to get it out somewhere soon. It's probably gonna be out before this video, the Q&A video comes out, or probably after. Not too sure right now what I'm gonna decide to do. But just look out for the review for the vacation soon. Next question is from Project 44, and his question is, since when did you start yo-yoing? So I started yo-yoing approximately 3 years ago, a little bit more than 3 years ago. So I've been yo-yoing for 3 years. And I started summer 2013, I believe. It was somewhere around June, July, or September. To be honest, I forgot because I kind of took yo-yoing, pretty recreationally or pretty casually in the first year or so. And then not until my second year of yo-yoing is when I started to compete and actually, create more tricks, collect more yo-yos, and stuff like that. So, this question is from Jacob McCann. I just found your videos recently and was shocked that you don't have more subs. And you're saying that you have around 270, and you said stay sharp, bro. And thank you. I really appreciate the comments and compliments that you guys give me. It really just brightens up my day. And it really just makes me think that, I'm actually providing entertainment to somebody else, to a much broader and bigger audience. But actually right now, it's actually funny because when I actually made the video that I'm going to do a Q&A, I was actually exactly around 300 subscribers, and right now, if I check, I'm actually at 405 subscribers right now, right now that I'm recording this video, and I'm just thinking, wow, it's just been only 2 weeks and already I gained more than 100 subscribers in just those 2 weeks. I don't know what happened or what, but, it looks like I'm doing something right, So thank you guys for that. Then the next question is from Chris Toledo. uh, he asked me, how do you come up with tricks that you try to teach me but I can't learn? Sorry, man. I don't know, it's just my trick construction, you know? It's tricks that I want to create. It's something that I like to, show other people, and there are tricks that I just like doing. Like, I try to teach you tricks, or I try to teach you my tricks that you can't learn. I guess, they're too hard or difficult. I've heard that from a lot of people, actually, that my style is pretty technical, and a lot of the elements that I use is pretty hard for other people to learn or to see or whatever, but yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Chris. And then Kai Stevens, next question is from Kai Stevens. So he asked me, what is your favorite yo-yo element and why? I'm not sure, actually. I'd say that I use a lot of common elements in my tricks, such as slacks and tension hooks and stuff like that in my style. But I would say probably my most used, or, what you're asking me, my most favorite element would probably be a wrist mount, or another element that I have to do with like a chopstick, because I found that I could create a lot of tricks from those elements, and it's just something that I really like creating tricks from. So yeah, I would say something that involves a chopstick or a wrist mount are probably some of my favorite elements to create tricks from. It's from Greg Angel. So shout outs to you, Greg, for meeting you at Nationals. So his question is, what is your favorite yo-yo video of all time? Do you play Melee? And if you could move to another country for only yo-yo related reasons, where would it be? Alright, so to answer your first question, what is my favorite yo-yo video of all time? I would say a lot of videos that are produced by Piotrix Miyatana, if you haven't heard of him. He's pretty much like the Steven Spielberg of the yo-yoing community. He creates a lot of, visually entertaining yo-yo videos, and they're probably some of the best and highest produced and quality yo-yo videos that I've seen out there. So I recommend you guys to check him out, Piotrix Miyatana. I'll leave a link down below to the Backspin YouTube channel that he runs, and you can find a lot of the videos that he's produced there. Actually, pretty much every single video that he's put out on that YouTube channel is what he produced, and you guys can just see from there. You asked me, do you play Melee? I actually did play Melee a couple years back, but as of late, I haven't really, played any video games much recently. I've kind of just pretty much only been doing yo-yoing homework, that's pretty much my my daily routine, and also making YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I used to play Melee, but currently I really don't. I'm thinking about getting back into it, actually, so yeah. And then your last question is, could you move to another country for only yo-yo related reasons, or where would it be? I would say probably Japan, because, I'm really interested in the yo-yo community that Japan has established for itself, and it's something that I just want to, see for myself and just experience. And also Europe. Europe is a really great place. Countries like Prague, Hungary, and countries like that have a really huge yo-yo community that I see in a lot of videos, on social media and stuff like that. So I would say probably either Europe or Japan, but I would say probably Japan is the country I would probably move to for yo-yo related reasons. And sorry if it sounds like my voice is kind of going out. I need to drink water or something, but... Next question is from Rody1231, so I guess this is your second question. What is your favorite yo-yoer to watch, is what he asked. I have a lot of yo-yoers that I actually like to watch. Like I stated, earlier on in the video, some of my favorite players, or some of my favorite tricks from other players that they created is like Zach Gormley, Kieran Cooper, Colin Beckford, Daniel Flaherty. Just a lot of, those guys I really enjoy watching. And, other players like my friends like Chris Toledo, Jose Pineda, Adrian Velez, Alex Desenia. So shout out to you guys if you're watching this video. So, just a lot of yo-yoers that I like to watch on my free time and whatever. And yeah. And then the next question is from Raymond Freeze Flash. Alright. It's not a question actually. He just asked me, or he just told me, congrats man, hope you get to 1,000 one day. And I want to say thank you for your question. And yeah, hopefully I will get to 1,000 subscribers one day. It seems like that day isn't too far off. Seeing as how I have, 400 subscribers and whatnot. I'm not, trying to brag or anything about that. I just find it kind of funny actually. I would, amass this many subscribers in such a short amount of time. And again, I thank you guys for that as well. The next question is from Back to the Future Reptiles. So, what's up, man? I hope you like my videos. And he asked me, congrats, bro. Or just a command. And that's all he said. So, thank you, man. I really appreciate you coming to my channel. And yeah. And then the last question is from It's Yvonne. Or, yeah. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. So he asked, congratulations. And then his actual question is, do you like to play video games or you don't have time? So, like I said, when Greg Angel asked me, do I play Melee? I do play video games sometimes, but it's not like a regular occasion. So, like, before I started yo-yoing, I actually used to play video games all the time, I have an Xbox 360. I actually don't have any next-gen consoles like the Xbox One or PS4. I really don't play video games as much as I used to, in the past. Pretty much all of the Xbox 360 games that I have, I pretty much beaten them all recently, and I'm thinking about getting back into gaming. I might buy myself like a used Xbox One or PS4 or whatever, and just buy a couple of games, because a lot of the games that came out in recent times are games that I'm really interested in playing. Alright everyone, so it looks like those are all of your comments. Sorry if this video is pretty long for you guys to watch. I'll edit it down and everything, so I'll make it a little bit more watchable for you guys. And I just want to thank everybody for getting me this far to 400 subscribers. And thank you everybody who, took time and just commented. And I really like reading your comments, and don't worry, I see every single comment, every single subscriber that comes my way, so, nothing really misses me. And if you guys have any more questions that, you might want to know about me, just list them in the comment sections down below, and I'll try to answer them. And, yeah, so thank you guys for getting me this far. And, yeah, so new things are gonna come later on. To be honest, I'm not sure what, but I just hope you guys can look forward to it. So yeah, thank you everybody, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.